Have you ever experienced that feeling where one day you just jump out of bed and you realize, I forgot to turn in an assignment? Or maybe you've realized that there's an assignment due today and you did none of it? Maybe you've also just realized that being a student is very stressful. And if you've had any of these realizations, you are not alone, because probably every student in this world has felt that stress and all of those feelings that come along with being a student, including myself. So today I will be talking about some tools to help organize your schoolwork, so maybe you can reduce some stress or you can just feel overall more organized when you're going about your school career. So today I will be talking about how to use a planner, how to create a homework schedule, and also how to prioritize assignments that you should do first. To begin, I will start talking about how to use a planner. Planners have many different uses. One way you can use them is to create a to-do list, or you could use them to schedule out your week, like let's say you have doctor's appointments or you have work, you can just write that down in a schedule. Another way you can use it is to organize homework assignments that you want to do or that you plan to do. And that is how I use my planner, and so every day I just kind of write down what I want to do that night or what I hope to start working on. And in an article written in 2015 that was published on treehugger.com, the article is titled 8 Steps for Using a Paper Planner Effectively. The author, Catherine Martinko, says that it is useful for her to check her planner frequently and to write her to-dos as soon as possible. And that is one way that you could use your planner, but planners are customizable to what you want to use them for, and it just depends on who you are and how you can maximize the usefulness of a planner. Now I will begin talking about how to prioritize homework. There are many ways to prioritize what homework that you want to do. One way is to prioritize it by due dates. Let's say you have an assignment that is due in 2 days and another one that is due in 2 weeks. You can choose to do the homework that is due in 2 days before you start on the homework due in 2 weeks, and that is how you would prioritize by due date. You could also prioritize homework by the amount of work needed. Let's say you have an essay due in 3 weeks, and we all know that essays typically take a long process, a long amount of time just to kind of process it and edit it efficiently. And so what you can choose to do is, if you have essays or something or a research project, then you could choose to start working on that like earlier, like let's say it's due in 3 weeks, then you could start working on it 3 weeks before it's due. And then as you go through the weeks, you can choose to just work on little bits every day or whatever works for you. Now, knowing how to use a planner and how to prioritize homework, you can create something what I call a homework schedule. And I have one right behind me, and this is just one of many examples. You could write homework schedules in planners, which I kind of do. You just write down the homework that you want to do for each day. Or if you feel that a planner is not as helpful for you, you can choose to have a little like weekly calendar like I do, that you could have whiteboard if you want to erase and redo, or you can have a desk calendar or just an overall big calendar if you want. And so what I do with my calendar is I just write down the assignments that I have, and right now most of it is empty because I do not have a lot of future assignments that are up, but there are some ways that you can check assignments. For example, in Canvas, some teachers write their assignments or put their assignments in the calendar, and so that's how I have some of these assignments scattered around. And so you'll use your homework prioritization, and you could choose what days you want to start working on homework or what days that you want to do homework and complete it that night. And it just depends on how you want to start it. But in her blog on edutopia.org titled 7-Step Prep, Make a Weekly Plan for You, which was written in 2014, Maya Hake Merlin says that you can start your weekly schedule by making time for the most urgent or the most important stuff. So let's say you have an essay that's due in 2 weeks, and that is a very important thing. Like let's say it's a final essay. You can choose to schedule that essay, schedule a time so that you can start working on it before it's due. And then you could also put in the most urgent stuff. So let's say you have something due on Wednesday and today is Monday. You can schedule to do that assignment on Monday and complete it. and before Wednesday comes up. Catherine Martinko, who wrote 8 Steps to Using a Paper Planner Effectively, written in 2015, says that make sure to not overwork or overschedule yourself, as there is no need for a full schedule because you could cause a lot of damage by overworking or overscheduling yourself. Now that you've found out some helpful ways to hopefully reduce some stress and to organize your schoolwork, you could choose to use a planner, prioritize your homework, or create a homework plan to help you as you go on in your school career. And hopefully you can use this to reduce stress, just organize yourself more, because as we all know, the stress of being a student is quite high and it is not something that is the best thing to experience.